What if the ghost of a melody, lingering like the faint vibration of a forgotten chord, could resurrect the dead weight of grief into a weapon of defiant identity, echoing the sorrowful ballads sung over battlefields, as in the trenches of World War I where soldiers' hymns turned loss into unbreakable bonds? Hear the muffled echo of footsteps on rain-slicked paths, taste the salty tang of unshed tears mingling with the crisp bite of autumn air, feel the chill of marble under your fingers as shadows stretch like unspoken regrets. This is the haunting resonance of Episode 7 of SI-VIS, The Sound of Heroes, released on November 16, 2025, bridging the formation arc into deeper explorations of legacy amid the group's covert battles. It unfolds as a poignant breather, reminiscent of the reflective pauses in epic journeys like Odysseus's interludes of longing, where heroes confront their humanity, pulling you into the quiet intimacy of shared silences and stolen glances, as if you're trailing them through mist-shrouded streets, heart aching with the suspense of buried truths. Could you face the specter of your own erased past, or will the allure of revelation compel you to listen closer? Flowing from episode SIX's High Stakes Confrontation, where the SI-VIS ensemble channels crowd energy into a symphony of defense against shadowy foes, akin to the electrified rallies of historical revolutions like the Boston Tea Party's prelude to upheaval. This installment eases into a cool down that nurtures bonds and unearths histories. Kyoya navigates an obligatory outing with Nagi, their interactions weaving lighthearted discovery amid watchful allies, much like the covert courtships in Renaissance intrigues, where every gesture hides deeper intents. Meanwhile, June's solitary reflections intersect with an enigmatic visitor, evoking the somber vigils at memorials like Arlington's Eternal Flames, where personal loss mirrors collective scars. Subtle threads of past alliances and lingering threats intertwine, building to a veiled intrusion that suspends the narrative on a note of intrigue, enveloping you in the scene's subdued tension, as if the aquarium's rippling waters reflect your own unspoken questions, the distant hum of a song drawing you inexorably toward the answers that hover just beyond reach and plot progression. Episode 7 elegantly advances the main narrative by shifting from external clashes to internal reckonings, unveiling key revelations about fractured histories and sibling legacies that recontextualize the group's dynamics, much like the pivotal disclosures in classical tragedies such as Hamlet, where ghosts demand accountability. Twists arrive through unexpected encounters that inject mystery, culminating in a subtle cliffhanger that teases escalating shadows without overt escalation, maintaining dramatic balance through a pacing that breathes like a musical intermezzo. Deliberate slowdowns allow emotional beats to resonate before hinting at crescendo. This equilibrium feels masterful, blending repose with undercurrents of dread. Fans often query cloudy aspects like the abrupt introduction of a cryptic figure's motives or the mechanics of erasure returns as blank slates. As an original anime with no manga, light novel, or web novel source, per production insights from Aniplex interviews, these stem from intentional world building. Erasure isn't mere deletion but a psychological reboot, drawing from thematic explorations of memory in sci-fi precedents, where returnees like Nagi serve as vessels for redemption. The figure's ambiguity foreshadows a weaponized twist, providing context that the animation layers for gradual unveiling, assuring viewers these aren't oversights but seeds for arc-spanning payoff. Character development delves into exquisite psychological nuance, exposing wounds that propel quiet evolutions, akin to the soul-searching in Tolstoy's introspections where grief forges resilience. Kyoya solidifies as a steady, if reluctant, pillar, his motivations scarred by inadequacy yet surprising in their gentle assertiveness. Choices consistent with his arc but transformative as he navigates vulnerability, mirroring your potential for quiet strength in adversity. Nagi blooms with endearing curiosity, her hidden origins from an erased realm manifesting in impulsive affections that surprise in their innocence, fostering growth through unguarded connections. June stands out profoundly, his easygoing facade cracking to reveal raw grief over a lost sibling, dialogue that transforms casual banter into poignant confessions, consistent yet revelatory, as if you're witnessing his armor dissolve in real time, questioning your own concealed sorrows. Thematically, the episode interrogates the echo of loss against the power of remembrance, manifesting in moral sacrifices where survival demands hope's fragile stand against despair. Characters wield melodies as both bomb and blade, probing. Can erased identities be resung into existence, echoing the existential dilemmas in post-war philosophies like Camus' Absurd Rebellion, where meaning arises from defiant creation. The universe enriches with lore of sound energy as a double-edged force, tied to emotional voids and restorations that complicate heroics, layering cultural rules where performances double as existential battles, akin to ancient bards whose songs shaped fates in mythic halls. Dialogue resonates with poetic subtlety, sharp in its emotional precision yet avoiding cliches, lines that foreshadow fractures and linger like Churchill's veiled warnings in wartime speeches, heavy with unspoken weight that echoes beyond the fade-out, immersing you as if the words hum in your ears amid the aquarium's glow, building curiosity. What verse would you compose if your past demanded a requiem? Technically, the animation enchants with fluid, evocative artistry. Muted aquamarine tones symbolize submerged memories yielding to warm amber glows of connection, lighting casting elongated shadows that embody lingering absences, where stillness in graveside vigils contrasts dynamic ripples of interaction. Beauty, here as a transient harmony, shaping impact like a canvas where colors evoke the fragility of reclaimed selves. Direction employs intimate over-the-shoulder angles and lingering compositions that mirror inner turmoil, editing a rhythmic flow that pulses with subdued tension, drawing you into the frame as if glass separates you from their world. The soundtrack emerges as ethereal protagonist, its motifs of wistful strings and subtle crescendos imprinting during revelations, elevating tender moments while silences amplify grief's roar, more piercing than any forte, reminiscent of Ennio Morricone's haunting scores in reflective dramas. Voice acting captivates profoundly. Kyoya's Siyu infuses a steady timbre with subtle tremor, embodying a soul anchoring amid waves. Jun's delivery quivers with cracked intensity, capturing grief's raw essence that pierces like a live performance. Emotionally, this episode carves deep. I felt a swell of melancholic ache ignite into empathetic wonder, moments scarring with their intimate vulnerabilities yet sparking awe at Bond's resilience, much like the collective catharsis in Memorial. Concerts after tragedies such as 9/11, where songs heal communal wounds. Pivotal intersections hint at destinies resonating in a harmonic rupture that redefines echoes, linking to timeless queries. In the silence of loss, what frequency would you attune to summon back the vanished? It lingers, as if you're there, the grave's chill seeping into your bones. Can you resist the pull? Employing a reverse perspective, the episode's decelerated pacing and opacity around new arrivals might frustrate action enthusiasts, yet these serve as deliberate stylistic breaths, mirroring the thematic haze of erasure to deepen immersion, akin to the intentional ambiguities in haiku that evoke profound clarity through sparsity. Complexity in backstories could daunt, but it enriches emotional layers. Minor cliched tropes and outings, while notable, anchor the narrative in relatable humanity, tempering critique with admiration for nuanced execution. In essence, Episode 7 masterfully harmonizes introspection with intrigue, its strengths, poignant character depths, thematic resonance, and auditory artistry, outshining occasional lulls to succeed brilliantly in its goals as a soulful pivot in the series. But as melodies dissolve into twilight's hush, I wonder, will you let the ghosts of unsung heroes remain silent or tune into their call? Watch, and let the sound awaken your own erased echoes. The verse of your journey demands its voice.